to our Radyo Eskwela. Tara na! The School On-Air program of DepEd Tagum City. I am your teacher host, Teacher Genevieve Pastor Martinez. We would like to thank our radio partner, Hope Radio 107.1 DXHS, where we are airing our lessons for junior high school. Thank you for your generosity. Today, you will be learning about Chinese arts, painting and calligraphy in Arts 8, Quarter 2, Lesson 1. To get your modules, your pen, and your notebook, and be comfortable seated in your homes. Let me give you your teacher broadcaster, Teacher Jason A. Lechino.
Thank you so much, Ma'am Jen. Hello again to our viewers and listeners. We're very happy because despite the pandemic, we can continue learning through our Radyo Eskwela. I am your teacher, Teacher Jason A. Lechino from Jose Tuason Jr. Memorial National High School. Today, you will learn another interesting and relevant topic about arts. Art gives meaning to our lives and helps us understand the world. It is an essential part of our culture because it allows us to have a better understanding of our emotions. It increases our self-awareness and also allows us to be open to new ideas and experiences. Today, you are about to embark a new venture of art of other East Asian countries after you have traveled from Southeast Asia. Welcome to our MAPI 8, specifically in Arts 8, the Chinese arts, painting, and calligraphy. Here are our objectives for today's lesson. At the end of the session, students are expected to: Number 1, identify the characteristics of arts and crafts found in China, specifically painting and calligraphy. B, analyze art elements: color, line, shape, etc., and principles: balance, proportion, emphasis, harmony, etc. in the production of arts in China. Letter C. Reflect on and derive the mood, idea, or message emanating from paintings and calligraphy by comparing their similarities and differences from other East Asian countries. Our objectives will lead our most essential learning competency, which is analyze art elements, the color, line, shape, etc., and principles, balance, proportion, emphasis, harmony, etc., in the production of arts in China. These countries have been noted of their numerous similarities, the commonalities in the art production, artistic traditions, and principles of arts as influenced by the history, beliefs, religion, location, culture, and dynasty. Have you traveled to any East Asian countries? What have you noticed about their culture, their arts? Our lesson today will introduce you to the arts and crafts of China as a painting and calligraphy. You will learn that this country focus on nature as their subjects or themes in their arts and crafts. But before we proceed to our new lesson, let us try to recall your lesson in the first quarter lesson in arts. What is all about? Yes, we learned about Southeast Asian arts. How do Southeast Asian countries exhibit their artwork? What arts and crafts they are known for? Yes, Thailand is known for their sky lanterns. Vietnam is for silk painting. Indonesia for their shadow puppetry, known as wayang kulit. Malaysia for their wow kite, and Brunei for their other artwork. This time, let us have a pretest. Check your prior knowledge about our topic for today. For pretest, this is the direction of our activity. Read the statements carefully, then choose your best answer inside the box. Write your answers in your activity, notebook, or sheet of paper. These are the words: calligraphy, landscape painting, chihi, Taoism, logographs, kanji. Question number 1. The ideology which states that Chinese art expresses the human understanding of the relationship between nature and the humans. What is your answer? Time's up. Let's reveal now the answer. Taoism is the correct answer. For number 2, it is regarded as the highest form of Chinese painting. You choose your answer from the box. Time's up. The answer is landscape painting. For number 3, the art of beautiful handwriting. What is the answer? Let's reveal the correct answer. Calligraphy is the correct answer. Number 4, established the 6 principles of Chinese paintings. May we have the correct answer? Chihi. For number 5 item, an ancient writing symbols which are engraved on the shoulder bones of large animals and tortoise shells. Let's reveal now the correct answer. Logographs. How's your score, students? I am hoping that you have got all the items right. Later, after our discussion, I will give you another quiz that will surely make you excited. Don't you worry if you don't know, or you can make it perfectly after our discussion. So listen very carefully and attentively to our discussion. Now, let's talk about China. In East Asia, the objects that are usually put into paintings are called subjects, themes, and or motifs. These may be about animals, people, landscapes, and anything about the environment. Did you know that painting started from prehistoric man? They used red ochre and black pigment. Early paintings often used hunting scenes of men chasing various animals such as horses, rhinoceros, lions, buffaloes, mammoths, and others. These types of prehistoric paintings were drawn on the walls of caves, blocks of stone, etc. Some are found in China. The history of Eastern painting is such old as the civilization of China. It is historically comparable to Western painting. Eastern countries continued to influence each other's production of arts over the centuries. As we have seen in the monitor, we have now the painting subjects are the themes of China: the flowers and birds, landscapes, palaces and temples, human figures, animals, bamboos, and stones. What about Japan? These are painting subjects or themes in Japan. Number 1, scenes from everyday life. Number 2, narrative scenes crowded with figures. How about in South Korea? Landscape paintings. Minhwa, the traditional folk painting. North Korea. We have the 4 gracious plants, plum blossoms, orchids, and wild orchids. Chrysanthemums and bamboo. And portraits. These are the flags of the Southeast Asian countries. Chinese society, basically agricultural, has always laid great stress on understanding the patterns of culture and living in accordance with it. Oriental artists often created landscape rather than painting with a human figure as subjects. Landscape painting was regarded as the highest form of Chinese painting. They also consider the 3 concepts of their arts: the heaven, the earth, and the humankind. All they call it yin-yang. The ideologies of Confucianism, Taoism, and Buddhism played important roles in East Asian art. Silk was often used as a medium to paint upon, but it was quite expensive. When the Han court nonage Kai Lun invented a pair in the 1st century AD, it provided not only a cheap and widespread medium for writing, but painting became more economical. This might be called the metaphysical, dualist aspect of the Chinese painting. The Chinese art expresses the human understanding of the relationship between the human and the nature. It is evident in the form of painting of landscape, bamboo, birds, and flowers, etc. To make our painting interesting and realistic, we shall apply the 6 principles of Chinese painting established by Qi He, a writer, art historian, and a critic in 5th century in China. These are the 6 principles of Chinese painting. Number 1, observe rhythm and movements. Number 2, leave spaces for the eyes to rest. Number 3, use brush and calligraphy. Number 4, use colors correctly. Number 5, live up to tradition by copying the master's artwork. And number 6, copy the correct proportion of the objects and nature. East Asian countries have theoretical forms like Peking opera of China and Kabuki of Japan. Peking opera of China. The performers from China and Japan usually paint faces depending on the character or personification they are portraying. So, aside from painting on silk, paper, and painting on wood, Chinese and Japanese also painted the face, and Koreans painted masks for theatrical and festival performance. Peking opera face painting, or Julian Pool, is done with different colors in accordance with the performing character's personality and historical assessment. The heterotype characters are normally painted in relatively simple colors, whereas enemies, bandits, rebels, and others have more complicated designs on their faces. It is a traditional special way of makeup in Chinese operas in pursuit of the perspective effect of performance. Originally, Lian Pu is called false mask. Meaning of colors in face painting. Guanzhou. Red indicates devotion, courage, bravery, uprightness, and loyalty. Meaning of colors in face painting. Number 2, Huangpang. Yellow signifies fierceness, ambition, and cool-headedness. Number 3, Zhuwen. A great face tells the audience that the character is not only impulsive and violent, but also lacks self-restraint. Zhangfei. Black symbolizes roughness and fierceness. The black face indicates either a rough and bold character or an impartial and selfless personality. Lianpu. Purple stands for uprightness and cool-headedness, while a reddish purple face indicates a just and noble character. Cao Cao. The white suggests treachery, suspiciousness, and craftiness. It is common to see the white face of the powerful villain on stage. Zhanggan. The clown of Chao in Chinese opera has special makeup patterns called Shaohualien, the pity painted face. Sometimes a small patch of chalk is painted around the nose to show a mean and a secretive character. At times, the Shaohualien is also painted on a young page or jester to enliven up the performance. Calligraphy. To the Chinese, calligraphy is the art of beautiful handwriting. Traditional painting involves essentially the same techniques as calligraphy and is done with a brush dipped in black or colored ink. Oils are not used. In calligraphy, the popular materials which paintings are made of a paper and a silk. Poets write the calligraphy on their paintings. Paintings can be mounted on scrolls, such as hanging scrolls or hand scrolls, album sheets, walls, lacquerware, folding screens, and other media. This is now for vertical scroll. How about for horizontal scroll? Album leaf, lacquerware. Did you know the earliest Chinese logographs are engraved in the shoulder bones of large animals and on the tortoise shells? For this reason, the scripts found in these objects is commonly called Zhuagengwen, or a shell bone script. It was said that Kang Ji, the legendary inventor of Chinese writing, got his ideas from observing animals' footprints and birds' claw marks in the sand, as well as other natural phenomena. He then started to work out simple images from that he conceived as representing different objects such as the sun, the moon, the mountain, the water, the rain, the wood, dog, cow, horse. This time, let us have an activity. Are you now ready, students? Now, open your learning modules on page 8 and do activity 1. Guess what? Directions: determine the subjects and theme of the picture below. Write your answer on the space provided for. Let's go! We have in our monitor human, plants, and birds. We have also human and nature. The questions are the following. What are the subjects? This is the correct answer. Human, plants, and birds. What is the theme? Human and nature. How do you find the activity? Were you able to analyze the subject and themes shown in the picture? Okay, we teachers are guided you to solve this analysis. That's great, students, if you got the correct answer or your analysis and interpretation. This time, let's have the assessment. To assess your understanding about their lesson, answer the activity. This is now the directions. I will read a statement and you choose and write a letter of the correct answer in your answer sheet. I will give you 5 seconds to answer. Let's start! What do you call the objects or items that are usually put in paintings? A. Colors. B. Images. C. Pictures. D. Subjects, themes, motifs. Your timer starts now. Time's up! The correct answer is letter D. Subjects, themes, or motifs. Number 2. In prehistoric paintings, what scenes are usually seen on the paintings? A. Nature. B. Portraits. C. Hunting scenes. D. Traveling people. Your timer starts now. Time's up! The correct answer is hunting scenes. Let's proceed to question number 3. Why does Chinese landscape regarded as the highest form of painting? A. Landscape has many elements like nature, human, figure, and scenes of everyday life. B. Chinese painting has always laid great stress in understanding the pattern of nature and living in accordance with it. C. Chinese painting often created landscapes rather than paintings with a human figure as subjects. D. Landscape painting considered the 3 concepts of arts: heaven, earth, and humankind. Your timer starts now. Time's up! The correct answer is letter B. Chinese painting has always laid great stress in understanding the pattern of nature and living in accordance with it. Question number 4. What ideology of Chinese painting expresses the human understanding of the relationship between nature and humans? A. Buddhism. B. Taoist. C. Shintoism. D. Sikhs. Your timer starts now. Time's up! The correct answer is letter B, Taoist or Taoism. Let's proceed to number 5. Xi He is a Chinese writer and art historian. He established the 6 principles of Chinese painting. Which does not belong to the group? A. Use colors correctly. B. Use brush in calligraphy. C. Observe balance and variety. D. Leave spaces for the eye to rest. Your timer starts now. Timer's up. The answer is letter C, balance and variety. Do you get all the items right, students? Good job, learners! These are our answers for our assessments. Thank you so much for your participation. But before we end this part, let's have the assignment. You make a card message. Study and learn Chinese calligraphy examples. Create a message card by copying at least 2 characters. Refer to the example to create a meaning. Write the English translation below the text. This is the example. Okay, so for our rubrics, the categories are the following: criteria, following directions, creativity, and workmanship. You can get 5 if you follow the directions correctly. And the student's output is very creative and tidy. For good, you followed most of the directions, and the student's output is good and tidy. For fair, followed some of the directions. Student's output is fair and has few errors. And poor, if did not follow directions. Student's output is dull with lots of errors. This is the guidelines of our output for the card message. We have also our pattern. Pattern of the East Asian culture is well defined and used from the beginning to end. You will get 5 if you meet that standard. 4. Pattern of East Asian culture is visible but not clearly defined. Fair. Pattern of East Asian culture, somewhat visible but not continuous. Poor if there is no visible pattern of East Asian culture. Okay, we have presented you already our criteria for judging of our card message. I do hope that you will make all of your outputs and assignments. That ends our lesson for today. If you have some questions and clarifications, you may write it on a feedback form. Again, do not forget to submit your quiz, assignments, and feedback form to your respective Muppet teacher. I hope you have learned many things about our lesson and discussion for today. Till next time, students, God bless you all. Goodbye.
That was great. Thank you, Sir Jess. Thank you, students, viewers, and listeners for tuning in. I hope that you learned something in today's lesson. Stay tuned for our next subject. Bye for now. Na, na.